such a Sigma male move. Just like, I've ordered the Uber, guys. See you later.
I'm like, where's the nearest cash machine? He goes, oh, it's about like a 35-minute walk. I was like, what? What? You do that in Sheffield, mate. You get...
I didn't do it in Sheffield. I kept my head down, my hood up, and I walked quickly. Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Cheers. Yeah. Included.
Chin chin.
To be fair, last time Charlie's having straight gin. My God.
Wow, what a
vodka.
Man. Straight. Nah, that's Mexican water. That is.
Mexican. What? It's tequila.
I couldn't.
It's 5 shots of tequila in a glass of water.
I couldn't.
Almost spilled it.
I really just couldn't bring myself to drink cider at 5:05 in the morning. I just couldn't.
Technically, you could, because we've probably done that before.
And also, in this video, the viewer won't be. It could be 10 p.m. at night. There, you know.
True.
No judgment from.
But it is.
I would know.
I can't lie to myself.
The sheer shame.
It's just waking up at like 2. Man, I'm hanging. You out last night? Nah, just this morning, man. I just fucking...
No, drinking from 2 till 11.
I just like the idea of someone getting up at going to bed at like 7 p.m. and they're like, wow, that was a really restful sleep.
Time to get wankered.
Time to get on it.
Time to get trashed.
Isn't that how alcoholics work?
I feel an alcoholic is not necessarily a time of the day thing. I feel that's more of a just whenever thing.
Yeah.
Whereas
it
probably helps.
Wake up at 3 and go bit early.
Yeah, exactly.
With that in mind, welcome to the Trash Taste podcast. That's the wrong podcast. That's the other one. That's the one I've been watching.
Charlie has 2 jobs.
I have 2 jobs.
Welcome to the Earth Sandwich podcast, hosted by me, Andy. You cut me off mid-intro, Charles.
It's only you now.
I was going to introduce everyone else.
Peace out, Charlie. We don't exist anymore.
Charlie works for the Trash Taste podcast now.
Guys.
That was like just reflex, because I've literally been binging the shit out of Trash Taste. So I literally just said what I've been hearing. Good God.
Right. Welcome back to the Happy Hour podcast.
Hi.
Because that's the one I've been binging.
Welcome back to the Pornhub
As you
podcast.
should be.
Shit. Welcome back.
Oh God.
Welcome.
We're running out of podcasts at this point.
The Earth Sandwich podcast. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, welcome.
Good evening.
Hello, boys. How are we?
Good evening.
Very
Good morning.
Good
Charles.
evening.
Good evening. Fuck you. How
are we this morning?
I'm doing good. Doing very well.
Did you celebrate the day of St. Patrick, Charles?
No.
As when we're recording this, it is currently St. Patrick's Day, UK time.
Yeah.
So Charlie has had St. Patrick's
yesterday.
Day.
I missed the opportunity. I didn't even know it was St. Patrick's Day, I'll be honest.
I didn't until about a few hours ago as well, to be fair.
Hence why we've now got a drink. But other than that, I did nothing. I worked, and that was it. So.
Oh!
Look at me go.
Get that dollar.
Job.
Yeah.
On a
loser.
Relates to St. Patrick's Day, I don't know if you guys have ever had a Guinness before. I want to get your thoughts, queries, and concerns
I've had a Guinness
on
from
Guinness
the Guinness
before.
factory.
Oh! Would you look at
you know what I'll tell you? I'll tell you a fact right here, right now.
Oh, God.
You can't dispute this, because I know it to be true.
You don't sound like you're disputing it internally right now.
No, I just can't speak English very well.
English not speak so happy.
Yeah, English
exactly.
not speak so happy. The Guinness that you have in the Guinness factory is better. Fact. The
Then
Guinness
what?
they serve in Ireland is better. Fact.
Than international?
Guinness that you get out of a tap in like a UK pub, but not UK.
Well, it's probably just
but in like an English pub.
I reckon
It's a transport thing. It
doesn't
completely
travel. It really doesn't travel well at all.
But it is just better, and the one in the factory was gorgeous.
Doesn't it taste like mud water anywhere though?
Nope.
The only time I've ever had a Guinness,
Every Irish viewer just tuned out.
It just felt starchy. It felt like I was fighting the drink.
I
it's a
honestly
meal,
agree
isn't
with
it?
that.
It's a meal. That should
It's
be
an entire meal. You can have
Oh.
6 pints, have a Guinness, and it sobers you up.
If you substitute an entire loaf of bread for one Guinness,
it's a meal. Yeah, it's in Ireland they don't have bakers. They just have the tap.
Yeah. When we were in Ireland, actually, we went to go see a gig, which will lead me on to another story from the other day. Charlie's he said something in the background.
fucking weird sound happening. I don't know.
Someone just comes in with like 2 Guinnesses, just like
Yeah.
Hang on, let me
A
check what this
kangaroo.
is. I can't actually tell what this is.
We'll be back in a moment. Technical difficulties.
Should we just chat shit about Charles while he's gone?
Yeah. Sure.
I feel like he's gained weight since last time, James.
Yeah, same.
I think we need to
I
talk about it.
heard, and don't tell this to anyone, but I heard he's a really, really good kisser. Again, don't tell anyone. Don't tell
Ireland, what were you talking about?
anyone.
Ireland
So
about?
I was in Ireland.
Yeah. Yes. Also, Charlie, are you currently being burglarized? Are you
Yeah,
fine?
are you under attack or are you alright?
It's. Do you know? I have been here since start of
He is being burgled.
November, and today is the second time it has rained in the whole time I've been here. And that sound is
Very nice.
heavy rain, which I have not heard in about 4
Oh,
months.
has it finally reached you?
What a video game.
Good God, because isn't Sydney getting some mad rain at the moment?
Sydney is. I think they're getting flooding in Queensland.
There's
as
a
well.
load of flooding.
Yeah, there's lots of flooding.
Yeah.
You can't win in Australia. You get burnt and you get flooded.
Yeah. And then you just get flooded straight after.
The big 2.
Yeah.
All right, go on, back
so what I
to
was saying
Guinness.
is right. So what I was saying is, and we're back. Is when I was in Ireland, we went to go see a gig, and it was the first time that I'd been to the Guinness factory, and the people that I'd been had been to the Guinness factory. So we all went, and one of the people I went with, he's slightly younger. It was essentially a family group that we were with, and he went to the Guinness factory. And I say slightly younger. He was 18, 19, maybe. I think, I don't know.
He was 7.
And he was 12. And
He's a
we went to
legend.
the Guinness factory and we went upstairs and we all ordered a Guinness. And we knew that he didn't like Guinness. That's absolutely fine. But if I didn't like, let's say, I don't know, another drink. If I didn't like Thatcher's, but you took me to the Thatcher's factory, I'd get a Thatcher's.
Yes.
We went to the Guinness factory and he sat down and we all ordered. He came to the table and he was like, well, this is an easy job. They all want a fucking Guinness, don't they? And he sits there and goes, hello, could I have a Fanta, please?
That, you know what? I've got.
Like,
it takes a big man to do
pardon?
that.
We were like, just get half. Just get half. If you don't like it, one of us will have it. And he's like, well, I'll just try one of yours then. And we're like,
no.
but we want ours.
That's like he's that guy that when you're ordering Indian, he's like you
Yeah,
order.
he's the picky bastard.
You're like, mate, if you wanted egg fried rice, you order it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone
bloke
that
just
thinks an
eats all
Indian
your
is for
sides.
sharing needs to be culled.
I just have some of your size. No.
Oh, wait. Missing the operative word there.
I'd have some of
Mine.
your money then.
That's why I ordered it. Because I fucking want it.
Cheeky bastard.
Genuine question. In the Guinness factory, is the factory you ordered the Guinness, right? Can you
And
order...
many other pubs, yes.
Oh, yes. Can you order any other alcoholic beverage?
They've got a couple others, yeah, but they're within the Guinness brand.
I see.
So, for
I see.
example, the other one that you could have is alcohol-free Guinness.
Okay.
So you can get
So probably
Guinness.
wouldn't help him much.
So you can get
If you just
the
like-
standard Guinness,
I think-
alcohol-free
Yeah,
Guinness,
that's the one.
and
That's
world
the one,
and
yeah.
world records, and that's all you have in the
Yeah.
Guinness record.
What's
And
a world
some
record?
water if you're lucky, because it's the Guinness Book of World Records.
What's a world record?
I was just trying to.
Poor Andy.
I was just trying to think.
shocking,
Like
mate.
I've never heard of that drink. I feel
Sounds
my alcohol
fucking
knowledge
good,
is.
though.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Just the whiff going over Andy's head there.
Straight over.
No, but that is pretty reprehensible from that man.
So, also, on the topic of this, something else that this guy did, which was out there and just odd, to say the least, was... So we went to go see Nothing But Thieves, which was, if you know the band, their vocalist is incredible and sounds exactly the same live as he does in their, like, normal shit. And he's brilliant.
Studio
And we're all...
recordings.
Look, yeah, we were all pretty hammered, like hammered. But
he had so many
we're
Fantas.
still all there. He had so many Fantas, but we're all still pretty there. We were sat at Mackey's. They were all getting a Mackey's. I couldn't at the time because none of it was veggie except chips, and I didn't want chips. So I was just sat there chatting to this fucking homeless bloke who was mental.
Very nice.
And he comes out, and we all eventually come out. And we're all stood there.
The homeless guy or the
no, who we're with come out. I mean, good for the homeless man.
Yeah, very brave.
Happy.
Yeah. But then he goes, "Oh, I've ordered an Uber." So we were all like, "Legend! Right, sick. We'll all jump in an Uber and go back." And he goes, and so I was like, "Oh, cheers, mate. That's really big of you." Like, thanks. He's like, "No, it's just for me."
He is.
And we were like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, I just got one for me." And we were like, "Did you not think to ask if anyone else wanted to jump in an Uber?" And he was like, "Well, I just wanted to get an Uber, so I just thought I'd order it." And it's like, "Mate, it's going to cost you the same amount as if we got in it. It's the same distance. Yeah, you might have to get a bit of a bigger one, but we'll give you the money." And he's like, "Yeah, I just ordered it for myself. It's round the corner. I'm going to go get in it."
Did he?
Did you guys? Were you
How
guys
baffling,
going to
isn't
the
it?
same place? Is that?
Yeah, all staying in the same hotel rooms. All went to the same gig
That's
with
fucking
each other all
baffling.
weekend. It's mental.
How many?
isn't it?
Right. Quick fire. How many people were in this group in total?
5.
5.
Okay, I'll give you exactly who it was. It was me, technically like my stepdad, but not my stepdad, but it's easier for context, and his 3 sons.
Got you. And it was one of the sons, I was
And the
assuming.
youngest of the sons ordered the Uber and the Fanta.
What a fucking weirdo. The Uber is the big one. The Uber is the big one. That is weird. That is
baffling, isn't
that
it?
is like a critically low amount of like what's the word? Social skills.
Just
It's
social etiquette.
It's funny how
I can excuse the
I went
Fanta.
off at him, to be fair.
Yeah, I can excuse the
What
Fanta.
are you doing?
I can excuse the Fanta, right? Because, fair enough, whatever. Some people just really don't want Guinness. Fine.
Yeah.
The Uber one is a bit of a faux pas.
Great word.
To put it lightly.
But
It's just baffling.
how did this? How did? I don't understand.
So we walked back.
So that was. I was going to ask. So if I was you in this situation, and this guy said, "Hey, look, I've ordered an Uber," and bear in mind, so I'm assuming it's a normal 5-door car picking people up. Only got four seats in it, probably.
4 seats in it, yeah.
So at the very least, he could have taken his brothers with him,
Yeah,
or his father. What happened then? So he says, I'm getting it by myself. Does he literally then just go and get it by himself? There's no...
No, see, he was like, "Oh, I've got an Uber," and kind of gestured, and we were all like, "Oh, sick, cheers, mate." And he was like, "Nah, it's just for me." So I immediately went, "The fuck are you doing?" I am very drunk as well, so I was just like, "Well, what the fuck are you doing? Why didn't you just order one for us? That would have made it so much easier." Now we've all got to walk back. And then out of principle, when he was like, "Well, I've just got it there, other people can jump in if they want," out of principle, we all stood there and went, "No.
It's like...
No, we're going to walk."
I love the idea of doing that, though. That's
Passive
like
aggressive.
such a Sigma male move. Just like, I've ordered the Uber, guys. See you later.
To be fair, that he did the...
He did an Irish goodbye in Ireland, but he told us.
Yeah, he did a fake Irish goodbye. He did, when you're like in a club with your mates and you just decide you're done.
You just peace out.
He did
and everyone
that.
assumes you're dead until the morning.
Yeah,
peace out,
he did that, but he said goodbye to everyone.
And he's out with his dad and his brothers.
That's bad.
That's
You know what?
It was a faux
I
pas.
low-key respect
I can't
it.
believe I haven't told you about this till now, because this is literally like last October, and it fucking shook me to my core.
That is, to be fair, that'd be one of those things where I would, like yourself, I'd still be thinking about it months later.
Yeah, I would too.
I'd be like, what was the thinking there? What?
Just don't understand the logic, the thought process. That's why I don't get.
The thing is, you could sort of get it if someone was, like you're saying, Andy, pissed, right? If you're on a night out, or you're just... I
mean, we were pretty pissed, but at the same time, we'll go back into the hotel.
But you can
How
sort of
how
get it if
pissed
you're
was he
pissed.
then, I suppose?
Yeah, because he's drinking Fantas.
Yeah, this is the thing. He was quite drunk, yes, But at the same time, yeah, if you're going back to your house and your house is maybe like not quite close to everyone else's, but if you're going back to the same exact room,
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No. Okay, no. I'll even forgive that. I see him or someone being in a situation like I've had, like I do that, like I go up to Oxford every now and then to visit uni mates, and we like stay in similar areas. I didn't go to the real Oxford.
You've got to say Brooks though.
Oxford Brooks.
And the university reveal.
There'll be a subtitle just at the bottom.
I'm no better. I just went to like a shitty London once.
I didn't even go.
But
There you go. Yeah.
it gets worse. No, but I understand someone being so drunk where they're like, I'm gonna go back, mate. I want to go back to the hotel room.
Yeah.
But what I don't get is he says I ordered myself an Uber, whatever, and then he like says the sentence, "Oh, I ordered it just for me," when he's in front of you guys.
Yeah.
At that rate, you should be like, "Oh, I've ordered an Uber. We should all go, or should most of us go."
Yeah. Just the
Anyone wanna jump
thought
in?
to go, does anyone want to jump in?
What was the? Because there was once when me and Andy accidentally ditched Dan. Do you remember this, Andy? We were visiting.
Dan's a big boy.
I
He's
swear-
all right. He can look
no,
after
but-
himself.
No, it was accidental
Accidentally.
because I only found out a couple years ago about the circumstances. Because I think we were visiting you, James. Maybe
Oh, big ups.
I think.
No,
because it was
probably
like,
wouldn't have been, or not all of you visited me at the same time.
well, it was me, Andy, and Dan. I don't remember who we were visiting then. We're definitely visiting
Wakey?
somebody
Don't know.
at uni. No, it
Was this
wasn't
in the
Wakey.
UK?
I think
Yeah,
it was.
in the UK.
Yeah, it was in the
Water?
UK. No, I swear it was you.
Was this when we went to Bournemouth?
Oh,
Oh, it might have been, yeah. All I know is whoever we were visiting,
A few years ago.
whoever we were visiting at uni there, they obviously had like uni mates and stuff. And me and Andy were like, we want to ditch, we want to go home. Dan was there chatting to like a couple of them, so we thought, well, we'll leave Dan because he's having a nice time. He's getting on with these fellas.
He's enjoying
We
himself.
won't interrupt it. We're just fed up. And we're gonna go home. So we went home. We got Domino's pizza. Dan comes in like an hour later, right? So we're like, okay, Dan's all good. I only found out like 3 years later that like immediately after we'd seen Dan, those guys just split. And Dan spent an hour wandering around the nightclub trying to find us.
Bear in mind, this was a city I don't believe he'd ever been to before.
No, it was just like that was totally.
And we were like,
because we were,
I think we were 18?
Yeah, like 18, and we literally just thought,
18.
Dan's sorted, he's happy. He wasn't happy.
That's one of those situations where if that happened to me today, I'd still a bit be like, oh, well, what do I do now?
It was the most delayed apology I've ever given anybody. It was like, oh yeah, no, I just wandered around and then finally went back to the hotel, assuming you'd gone back and you were there. I was like, oh, shit, sorry, mate.
I remember that really vividly because me and Charlie were like eating Domino's.
We went home and got Domino's.
We were watching an
Isn't he
episode
short
of
you were?
we were watching an episode of Cops or something.
We were watching like the TV where you're watching people fight on CCTV.
Yeah, we were watching that and we were just shoving like I don't think I'm barely
That looked like
drunk
something
at that
else. We were
point.
just watching cops jacking off.
We were just spanking it.
Where did you say you were?
We were in
Where were we?
a hotel. We were in
Because
a.
if you're visiting someone at uni and it's you, Dan, and Andy,
I actually-
haven't got a clue.
I
Who the
actually
fuck
know
were we
exactly
visiting?
where we were.
I
We
swear it was
were-
you, James. I swear it was.
It wasn't me, no, because you guys haven't visited me at the same time. Dan visited me once at uni, puked all over my floor, called my
Oh, yeah.
roommate a slag for 3 hours, then puked all
Yeah.
over her carpet and in her toilet, made her clean it up, pissed in my kitchen and left.
So for the listener,
He
what,
visited me once.
Refuses
and his
to
mate, who was a
elaborate.
drug dealer and had 2 phones, was weird as shit. And he, like,
so the listener's like, wow, this dude
Where's-
Dan, he's an alpha. This
where's
guy, this guy does what he fucking wants.
Where the
and
hell
it's true,
were we?
he does.
I actually can't remember what we were visiting or who we were visiting. I don't
you
remember
must
now.
We were visiting an ex-girlfriend of someone. I don't know if we all remember that now. We were. I don't know. I remember this very vividly because I live near there now. So
because I was there.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
Fun
That's
fact,
right.
Because I walked all the way back to the hotel
Yeah.
to then get a call to go, oh, we've left now. I was like, oh, well, I've just walked all the way back here to get drinks, and now I'm leaving again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there was a.
That's what it
That
was.
and this was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we were
no,
like
I do-
18. That's a long time ago now.
We were 18.
That was ages ago. That was before we were at uni.
Yeah. That was wow.
Jesus.
Memories. And I remember because it was Halloween.
crazy.
It was Halloween, and I dressed up as what's the dude with the hockey mask?
Jason.
Jason. I dressed up as him, and I wore a black boiler suit, and I was
Bad
sweating
decision.
so much.
I dressed up as 11 that year.
You did.
Yeah,
you look
'cause
a bit.
I had a shaved head.
He did.
He did.
He did. Did you have a reason for that, or did you felt like it?
I think I just did it. I think.
No, you're supposed to say I did it for charity.
Oh.
Yeah, I did it for charity. I definitely
Yes,
didn't do
yes.
it because I wanted to be 11. But
The character, not 11 years old.
yeah, no, that'd be a bit weird.
That'd be a bit odd.
Weird.
Yeah, I felt
But,
it was just like, I felt so bad about that. Like 3 years later, just like, oh, sorry, mate, I didn't really. Just fucking because
Whoops.
I would have been so fucked off, like just in a nightclub. Because this was
we weren't even at a nightclub. We were at like an event.
We bought tickets specifically
We went
beforehand
Yeah,
to this
It
student
was like
event
the
thing.
O2 something event, I think.
it was literally like the
Yeah.
biggest. It
was
was
at the
kind
O2.
of the vibe inside was kind of like a nightclub though, and it was like 3 stories,
Yeah.
and it was a fucking big place, very easy to get lost in. So it was like. I can fully understand how Dan spent an hour trying to find us in here, not knowing we'd left, because it was impossible. You had to text people just like, where the fuck are you? Which floor are you on? Which staircase
And then,
are
of
you
course,
by?
because there's like 5 floors around you, sometimes you've got no cell connection.
Yeah,
You've got to
So
use
you
like
just-
what 3 words to find people.
You'd have to drop a pin in a Google map and just hope someone else sees it.
Yeah. Share your location. Half an hour later, they might find you.
Oh no, that was I
banging,
miss
though.
moments like that.
Mad. That was
Dominoes,
a
mate.
weird trip.
Good
That.
shit.
That was. I remember. Do you remember that? Because so when Charles and I ditched Dan, we went to get this Dominoes, and I can't remember how drunk we were. I don't think we were very drunk. I think we were.
We can't have been mashed.
No,
I think we were like quite drunk. But bear in mind, I was sweating my entire night anyway. So like for me, I was just more passed out than drunk. And
I
then
remember very little of that. And
We,
by that, I mean like
yeah.
that period of time. I think I've like hazed it out of my mind.
a lot of it has
and
been
then-
hazed from mine as well. For some...
I've just like Dumbledored it all out. And
Yeah.
the only thing that I remember is Charlie and I had a debate for longer than is necessary about whether we should have got a KFC or a Domino's. Even though I think it transpired that we both actually wanted Domino's, we still had a debate to consider it because we didn't live in the UK. So both of these things were things you couldn't get
foreign.
normally.
You couldn't get them in Guernsey.
Yeah. So we were like, oh, we've only got one chance. We can't.
What would you pick? What would you pick now then?
Oh, Domino's.
Domino's.
Domino's is.
I think it was
Domino's is
literally,
clear.
it was really
Fair enough,
bizarre where we had like a small debate about which one we wanted, even though we both wanted Domino's. It was really weird.
Yeah. No, it was. Yeah.
Do you know when you argue with somebody for like 5 minutes and then you realise you're just arguing about the same thing,
Yeah.
It very much
the
felt
same
probably like
point?
something
And
like
you're
that.
just like,
We're both morons. Yeah.
we
had-
both just ordered Domino's separately.
We
'cause
always
thought we'd get
have.
different
We
deals.
always have fuck ups with travel though. Like I'm someone who always gets checked when I go to the airport. I don't know why.
You look shady, mate.
I look shady,
shady,
as fuck, apparently. I go through and get checked all the time. For some reason.
It's the way you walk.
But maybe it's the way I walk.
Or
but-
gate.
Up your
But
ass.
there was one where we were going to Montreal to watch some a Rocket League tournament, and the plan
Yeah,
was,
we're cool.
because Andy was in the UK.
I didn't go.
Yes, he did. Don't lie.
I'd like that put out there that I did not go.
James
I
actually
would've
went
loved to
twice
go.
before us.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's absolutely fucking sick.
No, it was very fun.
But trying to get there, so Andy was in the UK. So me, EGAP, and Dan had to catch a flight to the UK and then
mate.
hopefully meet up with
of
Andy,
course,
and then
yeah.
on to Montreal, right? Except there was fog in the morning, so we didn't get off the island until the afternoon. So we totally missed our flight. So Andy's there waiting in the airport, like, "Where are you guys at?" And we're like, "Mate, just get on it, because we ain't gonna make it." So we were supposed to be meeting up and grouping up, and instead Andy just gets the long haul on his own and checks into the hotel on his own, and has to like wait for like an extra day until we turn up.
Just a little sprinkle to this shit cake, that both of my flights, which I flew by myself, didn't have TVs on it.
Ooh.
And I was just chatting to this lovely man next to me for the return.
I was going to say, you're not a flight sleeper.
No. I can be if I'm like tired beforehand, but I can't if I'm just fine and then I need to sleep.
Yeah.
I've developed like a superpower over the time of flying like short haul flights where I can get on a flight, click my fingers, I'll fall asleep. When the plane lands, I'll wake up.
I can go to sleep on the flights which are less than an hour long, and I can't on the ones that are over an hour, and I don't know why that is. No idea why that is.
Very weird.
But
also, and yeah,
No,
to
you
piggyback on what Charlie said. So I had a lovely day in Montreal by myself.
you did.
What'd you do?
I had 24 hours. Was it maybe more? No, it's about 36 hours.
It's about 36 hours.
Completely by myself. So I got to the hotel at like...
And I cried.
And I cried. I got to the hotel at like, I think midday. I put all my shit away and I think I went to a bar and then I just walked about.
Nice.
It was quite nice actually. I basically walked about everywhere that we were going to walk, because you know how if you're with people and you're doing some sort of planned excursion like we were, you won't necessarily be walking about just everywhere. I did that, and so everywhere that we went the entire trip I was like, oh yeah, I've been down there.
Just some shady alley.
Yeah, I was that creepy guy, but no, it's very I got a few looks. Just checking in alone was very weird.
Well, I mean, you're a British boy in the big bad world.
I am, and bear in mind the hotel wasn't under my name, so that was a whole kerfuffle.
I
think it was under EGAP, so I think EGAP booked the things.
Yeah,
and then.
So speaking of hotels, so
Trivago.
Trivago. So last weekend I went down to Ambleside in the Lake District, which was lovely, where I got these wonderful beers, and then nice. Was going on to Sheffield to watch a band called Cleopatra, one of my mates from uni. And I got there. Sheffield, let me describe it in the nicest way I think I can.
Oh, God.
What a waste of space. Like, that place is a shithole. Sorry to anyone from Sheffield. I think maybe Vic Star's from Sheffield.
He is actually, yeah, I remember that.
Like, it's terrible. So I got there. Oh, get away from me, fly. So I got there and drove through it. Terrible. Went through it to where our really cheap, shitty Airbnb was.
Nice.
Knocked on the door, and it just swung open.
Never a good sign.
And I was like, oh,
red flags already.
We're staying in a crack den. Walk up the stairs, there's this smell, and I'm like, I'm not staying here if that's going to be the smell in the room or anything like that. Knock on the reception door, nobody answers. Try the next door, there's a key lock. Nobody answers, can't get in. Try the reception door, can't get in, knock again. So I'm like, right, I'll go outside because I'm more likely to get stabbed inside than outside.
Yeah.
Called the owner.
Let's chance
the
run.
owner. Yeah, and the owner goes, I'm like, I'm staying at blah-de-blah-de-blah. Booked it on, I think it was hotels.com or something. And the owner just goes, yeah, that hasn't been running for about a month. We closed that down. And I was like,
sick, mate.
Sick. So
who have I just paid?
It's still up on hotels.com. And she goes, to be fair, she was lovely. She was like, I'm really sorry about that. We'll take that down immediately. We'll give you a refund as soon as we can. And I was like, perfect. And then just kind of went, thanks, and hung up. And then dealt with I've got to find a place to stay in Sheffield. Otherwise, I'm sleeping in my car in Sheffield. So we found a place to stay, but this leads me on to my next kind of like what I wanted to talk about as well. So the gig, absolutely cracking, brilliant, tiny little venue, probably about 100 people there. It's a little American band, quite a heavy band. I assume we've all been to like relatively heavy gigs with like mosh pits and shit.
I went to Slipknot.
Oh, of course you did. Yeah.
I've seen Sigrid.
Oh, that's cool. Yep. Sigrid.
Don't know who that is.
I don't think Charlie. Do you know Sigrid? She's the Norwegian singer.
Yeah. It's a bit different.
Very the opposite of Slipknot.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Fair
carry on,
enough,
James.
alright.
It's more like
But
some
I was-
opera shit.
Yeah.
So over kind of the year, like the years starting with like, you know, Don Broco, Biffy, Foo, that kind of thing, and then getting into more kind of like smaller, kind of grungier bands. I genuinely think the people that you meet at those gigs are far nicer, far more accommodating, and just like better people to be at gigs with than say if you went to, I don't know, let's say like an Ariana Grande concert.
Well, that's because.
And I'll give you an example.
They're all
as well.
12 there.
So you know the shitty, you know, like Travis Scott or shit that all happened recently, where people are mosh pitting at a gig that's not really a mosh pitty kind of gig, and loads of people like.
Well, it's because they overstuffed the venue. That wasn't as much mosh pitty, but they overstuffed it. Yeah.
But still, you get these tiny venues that are just rammed with people and you can't move.
Yeah.
At a gig that you're expecting it, as soon as somebody falls over, everyone around them is screaming, "Stop! Stop! Get up! Get up! Like, get them up! Get them up!" But at a gig that you're not expecting it, if somebody falls over, everyone just looks at them like, "Dickhead."
Yeah.
I think it's for metalheads. It's a bit because you're in a mosh pit and because you're expected to have a mosh pit. It's still the thing of you don't want people getting hurt, even though you charge into each other and do stupid shit. So if someone goes down, if someone falls over, you stop it straight away and pick them up. Yeah. So like at the Slipknot one, I was with Ant, and Ant is quite short, right? He's like 5'1" maybe. So we didn't actually want to be in the mosh pit. We wanted to be nowhere near it. We want to be on the side watching the mosh pit and the band, right? And the mosh pit started like around us, and we were like, "Shit, we need to get out of this mosh pit now."
You are the pit.
And it was like, it literally was, "We are the pit," and it was like, "We need to get out of here now." But it was really easy to leave it. So like people could see we were trying to get out. No one was barging into us. Everyone just went past us and everyone just got out of the way so we could get out. And it was just like, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Nice.
Yeah. No, it's bad, isn't it? Because everyone recognises you can tell the people that are at the gigs to go and mosh, and you can tell the people that aren't. And then, because literally as soon as the two of the two-piece walked out, it was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going in. Yeah. So I was pushing past people, not pushing, but just going, "Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me." Then as soon as I got there, I just run in, like, fucking headbutt someone. But it's that kind of vibe that if you're there for it, everyone knows and everyone respects that.
I guess that's just the simple thing is you're going into an environment where people understand that this is the thing they do.
Yeah,
exactly.
Whereas at something like a Travis Scott thing or an Ariana Grande or something like that, it's not, you know, the people doing the mosh pitting are doing it more in a like, I want to do something crazy kind of way.
I'm a dickhead.
Can you imagine?
You know, I order an Uber for myself.
But like, can you imagine trying to mosh pit to Dangerous Woman?
Mate,
how do you mosh pit at an Ariana Grande concert or like Travis Scott? Travis Scott is not.
People dance.
The music is not.
People dance and have a good time at an Adele concert. I'd just cry.
Yes.
If I went to go watch Adele live, I'd literally just cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, she hasn't really got too many slappers, does she? It's just mainly, drive home and it's raining.
Yeah. It's standing in awe of her voice and crying.
Did you enjoy it? No. Was that what you wanted? Yeah.
Just had a great time.
I actually thought to myself, like, I went to Slipknot. I didn't mosh because I didn't really want to, but I feel like next concert I go to, I should do it, right? So I thought, okay, so coming to WA, next concert, Foo Fighters with the Chats on the undercard.
Are you going?
I'm going. I booked a ticket. Unfortunately...
Oh, mate, that's going to be so good.
Unfortunately... so I had 5 people who were going to come with me. All of them dropped out, right? Last minute. So I was like, shit, what am I going to do? So I just thought, well, I just need to book a ticket, right? So I went on. Yeah. I booked a ticket. I thought, I'm a bit late to this. I don't know what I'm going to get. So the only seats left were non-alcoholic seating. So I was like, well, I'm not going to mosh, but I am going to see Foo Fighters in the chat. So I was like, I mean, I'm just going to fucking go because I want to go and see it. So I'm going to go anyway.
Yeah.
But it was just like, that wasn't quite what I was intending. But fuck it. It would still be fun.
Foo are immense.
Yeah.
Live. So good.
The chats in Australia.
The chat's going to be the chats. They're going to be so good.
They've got another one on the undercard now, which I can't
sick.
remember the name of, and I should do, but I can't remember them.
Well,
But I'm interested
Hot
to
Milk
see
are
what
out
they're
there.
like as
The
well.
band that I like, Hot Milk, they're supporting them for a bit of it.
They are, but it's not the one I'm watching. It's something else. But
They're good live as well.
So, but that'll be pretty cool. But yeah, I was intending to mosh at the next concert,
sick.
and it's definitely not happening there. I'll be with like the parents and the kids up in the.
You don't know that those parents and kids could be wild.
Just me on my
you
own.
could just crunk next to some old ladies.
Yeah. Get the single mums.
laugh.
You just
After bringing a hip
go
flask.
for it. Imagine you're bringing in the hip flask and like you're there, you're sitting in your seat and you're like, oh right, okay, let's do this. And you get the whiskey out. Someone's just sitting next to you, just like just half staring at you the entire time.
I'm just like seated next to a 6-year-old kid, just drinking from a hip flask.
just
get fucking crazy.
Oh, brilliant.
I remember once I was at it was like a student like festival thing, one of those things for just the university students, and you had to like, I don't know, I mean James, you probably have. There's like in these festivals that you sometimes have ridiculously long queues if they don't to get drinks if they don't have like proper stalls set up and everything. Yeah. And so I was queuing for about 25 minutes to get a drink, and I've got my card. And I'm like, oh, can I get a cider, please? No, yeah, sorry, mate, cash only. And I was like, there was because they had people working there in the queue, like ferrying people in the queue, and no one mentioned at all before the beginning of the queue that it was cash only. And I was like, so bear in mind, this was taking place in a field near a campus, and it wasn't even like a big campus. It was like one of the, the small, shittier campuses. And I'm like, well, where's the nearest ATM?
Like Oxford Brooks.
Shout out, my guys.
Oh my god.
I'm like, where's the nearest cash machine? He goes, oh, it's about like a 35-minute walk. I was like, what?
That's an oversight. That's a massive oversight.
Oh, mate, that's awful.
And
I was just
speaking of
going to debt.
Speaking of queuing, though, right? I saw and this is not a festival, right? We can get back onto concerts and festivals in a minute. This was just a random bloke in a queue I was looking at, right? So I was in a shop over here called JB Hi-Fi, right? Which is like, there's a lot of electronics, there's a lot of different things. What? You know, ask what was in there?
High five.
JB Hi-Fi, hell yeah.
JB.
But
JB
so there's like
Hi-Fi.
electronics and stuff in there. There's lots of different like shit in there, right? And there's this guy, it's this little bloke wearing a suit with his missus next to him in the queue, and he's getting very irate, right? Because he's basically chatting to staff, and it's from what I can tell, he's ordered something and they ain't got it yet, right? And he's throwing a massive hissy fit about it, and I'm thinking, what has he bought? Because I'm looking at him, I'm thinking he's quite well dressed. He might be a bit well off. So I'm thinking maybe he's got this massive TV that he's ordered or something hasn't come in. I thought maybe it's something for his kid. So maybe it's like a video game or something. He doesn't want to let his kid down. So he's getting really pissed off, and he's just standing there. He's just seething. You can see him, right? He's seething with rage. And I'm like placing bets in my head. I'm like, it's going to be a TV or it's going to be like a console, like a PS5 or something. That's what this is going to be.
Yeah.
And his wife just turns to him.
Shit.
His wife is just like, "Come on, let's go. We'll come back another day and pick it up." And he just stands there and like folds his arms, and he's like, "I'm not leaving until I get my vacuum cleaner." I was just like,
I am going to die on this hill.
I was like, yeah, exactly. All the hills to die on. That was not what I was expecting. It's like,
I love that. Do you know what?
Yeah. To be fair, that sucks for him.
I was thinking of jokes in my head. I was like, get the fuck out.
Depends.
I thought the exact same joke in my head looking at him, but fuck you. Yeah. This guy already blows. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's brilliant. I just love the fact that you know the wife was like, after like the 3 or 5 minute mark, she was like, I don't know, this is probably not
He was
not
planted,
worth the
man.
wait.
He had his legs apart doing this. He was planted. He weren't going nowhere. And it was just like, just come back another day. The dirt can wait. Like,
Relax. It's a Dyson.
It's just, yeah. I was just not expecting that at all to come out of his mouth. It was really.
You were like, fuck, I did not get that. Like, I'm trying to think, what would we have to be like? No, I think if it was, I don't know.
I wouldn't.
It would have to be something like,
I'm too British. I would just be like, okay, yeah, fair enough, and then bitch about it when I left the shop.
Yeah. I think, we're too driven into being nice to people in customer service that we'd just be like, no, I understand.
Well, not everybody in Britain is driven
we'll come
to
back
be
another
nice
day.
to people in customer service,
Well,
but
no,
I think the
like,
three of us
people who are raised to be nice humans.
yeah. Yeah, like I say that to be fair. I might have mentioned this previously on a podcast, but I ordered The Elder Scrolls Online 2.5 years early. I think if I was,
yeah.
I think if it was in a situation where instead pre-ordering on Amazon or whatever I did, I was in a store and I really wanted it, I probably would have also planted myself. But then again, I was like 16.
Give me my Elder Scrolls.
Exactly. I've just been there like, come on, Tamriel awaits me.
In your cloak.
Yeah. They're like, this fucking creepy school shooter looking kid will not leave until we give him this fucking disc. But no, I guess then, the flip side of that vacuum thing is, how dirty was this man's house? Like, how badly did he need that vacuum?
I don't know. I feel like
true.
I feel like looking at him, it was like the maid must have ordered this or something.
But she put the wrong date in, so he's had to go and get it to go like a week later. And he's pissed.
Yeah, she's actually on holiday at the moment, so she can't pick it up. So he has to, and that's why he's so annoyed.
You pick up.
Yeah, exactly. That was weird. Yeah.
No, I don't. No, it's funny you mention people being like rude and weird in public. So I sent Charlie a message the other day. So I go to see I live near Bournemouth at the moment, and I watch Bournemouth Football Club every now and then play football. Ooh. And to get there, I need to get a bus, and there's a specific bus I get, but that bus is notoriously unreliable. So let's say
is that because one time you played Pie Face really loudly on it, so they don't let you on anymore?
Yeah, that's because they're like they pull up to the stop, they kind of clock me, and they go they just switch their number on the thing, so it changes to like a different number, and I'm like, it's
not in service.
Not this one, that was mine.
Not today, mate.
Yeah, it's like full. I'm like,
there's a doorman. There's a doorman on the bus. It's like not in them shoes. Sunshine.
Not today, mate.
It was. So this bus is notoriously unreliable, and I had to get this bus to the stadium, and I was already a bit close on time. I got there at a time that would have given me about half an hour leeway. My bus didn't arrive for 35 minutes.
Ooh.
So I opt to get a different bus that goes a similar route, but not the same route, and I wasn't sure how similar this route was. So I get on the bus, and I go, "Oh, do you go to near Bournemouth football stadium?" And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, "Oh, do you go to?" And I said the name of the specific stop, and I like pointed to him on the list of stops. Do you go to this stop? And he goes, "Oh, I don't know if I can tell you that one, mate, to be fair." And I was like, well, "What do you mean?
You're the driver."
I hope you know where you're going.
Where are you going? Yeah.
But of course, as we mentioned earlier, we're all British and too awkward. So I just internally thought that. And I went, "Oh," so I showed him on Google Maps. Bear in mind, I've been waiting for about 35 minutes for a bus that never arrived. So I was like already a little bit like, I want to go.
Bit tetchy.
Yeah. Let's go. So I zoom in Google Maps. I'm like, this is where I want to go. This is where the route for my other bus went. Do you go near there? And he goes, "You know what? I can't tell you for certain. I'll just buy you a ticket for Boscombe, which is in the rough area." Okay. That's like you going, "I want to go to, I don't know, Chelsea. I want to go to Chelsea Football Stadium." And he goes, "Okay, I'll just buy you a ticket to Fulham." Like, it's not
close
wrong.
enough,
But it's like,
not right.
It's not right either. And I'm like,
yeah.
So I leave. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll just get this bus ticket. Bear in mind, if I got this and I went the wrong way, I'd fucking missed the game. I get it. I get the
Really?
ticket.
You missed it.
Yeah, no.
Missed the whole game.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Oh, you didn't.
I didn't.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
but
saying if this bus,
got you.
if this
Oh,
bus
right.
didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go, I would have missed at least the first half. I'd have had to have walked there, which would have been like an hour.
Okay.
So I get the ticket. I'm like, you know what? I'll just get a return ticket. And I thought in my head, if he starts going really the wrong way, I'll just figure it out from there and I'll walk. So I get the ticket from him. I walk down the bus, and this guy, he must have been like his, I'd say probably mid-60s, early 60s. He just goes like this. It's ridiculous, mate. And I thought he was talking to me about how the bus driver doesn't know where he's going.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, it's ridiculous. He doesn't know where he's going. Like, I feel like it's a pretty common stop, and like it's a, you know, Bournemouth football stadium strikes me as something that would like,
It's a landmark.
It's a
Yeah.
landmark.
it would stand out at least a little bit. Even if you didn't know where it was, you knew where it wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's ridiculous. He doesn't know where Bournemouth football stadium is. And he goes, no, I mean you, mate. And I'm like, me? And he's like, yeah, you're up there showing your phone. You're taking all the time in the world. We've got places to be. And I'm like, what do you think I've got to be? Do you think I just got to be standing on this bus with you?
Yeah, it's
And he's
just
like-
good fun, mate. Seems like
Long story short, Andy headbutted a 60-year-old.
No, it wasn't like that. It was one of those things where he said this, and I'm like, I can't believe this, because I'm not very confrontational, as you both probably well know.
Yeah,
I'm not a very confrontational person. But he said this, and I was like, you ever have that moment where someone says something, and you're like, oh, maybe they didn't actually say that. Maybe I just like,
maybe I've just made that up on the spot.
Yeah.
maybe
Like, I understood it wrong.
Maybe I'm just like misinterpreting that. But then, like the entire bus ride, so I'm sitting like behind him, because it was a fairly also awkward. Have this weird like mini shouting contest with this man, and then I have to sit like 4 feet away from the bloke. And the entire ride, you can just tell he's steaming. He's just there the entire ride. And like people will get off the bus and they'll be like walking off kind of slowly. And then like this woman who is like, must have been in her 80s, had like a walker thing.
Yeah.
She was getting off the bus and he was just there going, first him, now her. And I didn't say anything, but all I thought was like,
What a dick.
I mean, I get if you're bagging me out for
Dickhead.
but what? What? Oh,
It's an old lady with a walker. Let her take her time, man.
I was like, what the fuck? It doesn't. I'm
Dickhead.
like,
what
we
a knob.
got places to be. And then as I walked off, I said, have a good rest of your journey to him. I felt like a prick.
Oh, yeah.
I was
moral
like-
high ground. Go on.
I was like, enjoy the rest of your journey. Gave him
Why not?
the fattest smile.
That, my sir, is shithousery.
That is shit.
Yes, because it was also one of those things where I'm like, if I'm already going to be late to this football game that I've paid, a decent amount of money for, I'm gonna, whatever. And then I saw Wayne Rooney, so it was a great evening overall.
Was it Derby Bournemouth?
Derby Bournemouth or Bournemouth
What was the
Derby.
score in the end?
It was 2-0 to Bournemouth. Bournemouth.
Oh, well, decent game then. There you go.
And fun fact, do you know who plays for Derby?
Hey.
Ravel Morrison.
Really?
Yes, he does.
Well, this is a niche bit of the podcast.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes,
what
it
you're
is.
talking
Sorry.
about. It's so niche. I haven't got
Ravel
a fucking
Morrison
clue what you're on
was.
about.
He played under
United.
United in like the Jesse Lingard, Paul Pogba kind of era, and he was the one that every coach, every player was like, he is going to be the best out of this academy. And then he had quite a few problems with, I think it was his mental health and like a lot of alcohol and going out and stuff. And
I played in Sweden or something for a year.
Yeah, dipped off the face of the earth. But in that time, everyone was saying he is the player. He's the one that's going to be the best. And then obviously, Pogba kind of went on to be Pogba, things like that. But
no,
big up Ravel though. Good to see he's back in the Championship. That's good.
Whipping
I like
in
that.
them corners. But no, that was a fun
He's
day.
6'4". Why is he whipping in corners?
Dunno,
I swear he's a unit.
he was just pinging them in.
Phil Jones on the corners.
Oh, what a man!
But I was thinking,
Underrated
I
hero.
was probably on thinking about your story on the bus though. I had a run-in with a woman who probably thought I was the old bloke in your scenario
Nice.
because
Oh God.
I was genuinely so annoyed, and I was so annoyed I couldn't communicate properly. Right? So it's like it's the first.
You were Modern Warfare 2
speak
lobby
English.
annoyed.
I was Modern Warfare 2 lobby annoyed because it was like, well, basically, right? It was start of a long weekend. Me and my mum cycled up to a place nearby, shopping centre, get some food.
Nice.
We come out, my fucking bike has been nicked. Right,
This weekend.
you know, it's
yes.
that weekend. Yeah. So bike's been fucking nicked, and I was so pissed off. It's the first time, I think, because Guernsey's a very sheltered place. There's not a lot of crime there. It's the first time in my adult life that I've had something nicked. Because when I was a kid, when we lived here, I had a bike nicked and a couple of radios nicked. But it's the first time in my adult life I've had something nicked, and I was really pissed off, like so annoyed. Like I had this bike for like a month. It was like $900. It was a big investment, and it was just so fucking annoying, right? So it was like, okay, so I'll stand here, make sure no one comes right up next to this thing, right? Because this is effectively a crime scene now, and it's like, so I'll just keep people away from this particular area, right? Mum goes off to get security. This woman comes along on a motorbike and starts going literally right next to it. So I was like, sorry, can you not like go here? She just whips the visor up and just goes, I'm just trying to park, mate. What's your problem? And I was just like, I was like,
You're like,
where do you want to please
fuming.
I was just, please just not there. Like, go here or go somewhere else. And she's like, what's your problem? I was just like, just fuck off. So she just like, I went somewhere else. But the reason I think I'm partially in the right on this, right? So she just saw this angry bloke, right? I don't think she could hear me with the helmet, right? So I was saying my bike's been nicked. Can you not park it, please? I was saying that. And I just didn't, I think because she had the helmet on, she just couldn't hear the explanation. So basically all she heard was me just going, can you please fuck off, right? in the most civilized, angry tone I could manage, right? But the reason I partially think I was in the right is these two blokes came by on the motorbike, went to the same place, and I said to them, sorry guys, can you go over here? And they went, oh yeah, sure. And just went a little bit further along. And I was just I was just, that's
oh my god.
So
that's like a very classic "Am I the arsehole?"
Yeah,
that is a perfect.
I think in that situation, no. I think if somebody just goes to you, "Oh, sorry, do you mind not parking here?" Your response should just be,
it wasn't even like,
why?
"Can you find somewhere else to park?" It was literally not here specifically. Like, just go like a meter this way.
This 4 foot.
Just
space.
go here.
Also,
not here. Just
I'm gonna go ahead and say, even on a principle level. So this person turns up. There's a guy standing in a spot she intended to park in. He's looking pissed off and stressed.
There's a fucking bike.
Wouldn't you just be like,
car.
I'm gonna go?
Well, because my mum's bike was there,
I'm not gonna go near the stress guy. I'm just gonna go somewhere else.
Now saying this, there's another thing which she said which really irritated me and really wound me up, like quick.
She said jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
The bike is there, and there's like half a bike lock hanging off it. Right, so my mum's bike is still there. They left my mum's bike. So my mum's bike is still there. There's half a bike hanging off it. And she goes, oh, do you not want me to park there? No. Is that your bike? I'm like, no, mine's been fucking nicked. It's not here.
Oh my god.
Your eyes.
Yeah, so it's literally,
She stole your bike, Charles.
I think that was the bit that wound me up, was because it's just like...
She rode up on his bike.
That is a alpha move.
What's your problem? It's like, I'm finna steal your moped and go looking for my bike.
Oh, I hate that.
But
any luck with finding the bike in the end?
That is no. Police finally responded to the report like a week later. I was like, well, it's gone now, innit? But at the, you know, it was, I think that is the closest I've been to having a full-on just meltdown in public. Usually I'm pretty chill with stuff, but this one occasion I was so annoyed at having this thing nicked. That's the closest I've been to being pissed off in public. And I reckon the bloke on the bus must have had something similar, or
he must have had a bad day.
Either he had a horrifically bad day, or he's just a dick.
Just a bellend.
Yeah. Like there was a part of me that thought, maybe he's just, in a bit of a mood,
bit rough.
But it's also like, you know what, I've got nothing to do, might as well
just piss this guy off.
yeah. If I'm gonna miss my football game, but
I'm gonna make it everyone else's problem.
yeah. No, I love that though. With the, I just don't understand. So let's say there's no other spaces in this bike, where this person wanted to park a moped or motorbike or whatever. Let's say there was let's say there were no more spaces, I kind of maybe understand where she's coming from. Were there more spaces?
Yes.
Like, could she park?
Well, yeah, you said there were loads.
Like I literally just said, there was like a space.
Oh, were
here.
there loads?
This was where my bike was. Literally was, right? That's where it was. I asked her not to park here. I asked her to park here, and that's literal. In terms of that is like genuine measurement. Just not here, just here. And there's loads of space here. Because bear in mind, 2 blokes came up after, tried to park here, asked them to move, and 2 bikes parked here next to me, like motorbikes. There was plenty of space right there.
It's easy, isn't it? Like,
This is where
piece of piss.
I hate confrontation.
I hate it. I hate it. Yeah.
I think that's another thing that's relatively British, like the whole queuing thing. I don't think confrontation is a thing that we kind of seek.
No,
I don't think it is.
And I think this is why, one thing I notice over here is people in Australia are a bit friendlier. So if you're in like a shop or something and you lock eyes with someone here, they'll go, "Oh, you're right, mate. How you doing?
Make out.
How you doing?" Sort of thing. They'll say something to you.
Oh.
You do that in Britain, and someone speaks to you, you're like, "Fuck, he wants to fight." You know, it's like it's a totally different. Yeah. If you lock eyes with someone, and they go, "All right, mate," you go, "Oh fuck, what does he want?" You know, it's like because I started doing
I
that.
didn't do it.
That's one thing that I find I do that nobody else does. Yeah. If I actually if you're walking along the street and you kind of just look over and you catch eyes with someone, most people will do that whole white people smile where they go.
Yeah, literally that.
Yeah,
no teeth.
Yeah, just like your mouth moves sideways. It doesn't go up at all because we're all too sad.
Yeah.
Where the shit.
So I actually do you're right.
Yeah.
But I think that's because I was brought up in a middle-class family and we used to go on walking holidays. And when you're on a walking holiday and you see another group of walkers, you go, "Hi, good afternoon, how are you?" That kind of thing. So I do that automatically just to people walking down the street if I lock eyes with them. I would just be "Oh, you're right, mate."
You do that in Sheffield, mate.
I didn't do it in Sheffield. I kept my head down, my hood up, and I walked quickly.
Like a good boy. I was on form in Sheffield.
And then I got to the gig, did my fighting, and left.
Like a gentleman does.
Like a normal person.
Truly.
I cried at my Adele.
And I left.
But
what I was actually going way back to the whole you going to a gig on your own thing. That's something that I was planning to do to this gig, and I was planning to go to Glasgow on my own to see it, which might have been the end of me. But I then thought okay, I've got 2 other gigs that I want to go see. Nobody else wants to go see them with me. Bollocks to it. Let's just go see it on my own.
Why not?
At the end of the day, you're not there to talk to people.
No, you're there to listen to the music.
Just
go see the band.
Might as well.
Go see a band.
Yeah. Why not?
But I've never been to a gig on my own. That's what I was going to say. I've never been.
No, I haven't either.
I'm sure it'll be alright.
I haven't either.
No.
Just make sure you're in the non-drinking section.
Yes, sat next to a 12-year-old and an 87-year-old.
Sitting, none of this jumping about, James.
None of this standing shit.
None of this tomfoolery. Seating only, non-alcohol.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be in the nosebleeds drunk off their mind.
Nope.
The losers, that is.
Saying that, I think that would be kind of funny. If you I don't know, if you teleported me to a football game and I was in the very back of Wembley or whatever, and I was just pissed. I think that'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I was saying, it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. Not saying I'd do it.
Football game is a little different, I think, to a gig.
Oh,
because
yeah.
a gig like Foo, there's such a wide audience. I've been to Foo gigs and I've been stood with people that have been Foo fanatics and have been mental.
Would you say they were Foo-natics?
Wonderful. I'd say that they were Foo Fighters,
I didn't
actually,
like
because they
that
punched me in the head a lot. But there was a lot of people. I've also been to a Foo gig where we've sat up in the stands. Nobody stood up around us because why would you?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So I think whereas Wembley, if you go to Wembley and you're watching an England game, I think pretty much everyone's going to be drunk.
You wouldn't be by yourself in that scenario.
No,
You'd probably just blend in with everyone else.
You could, I
it's
suppose.
England, isn't it?
It just depends. I think if there's a final one that you really want to go to, Or even if you're like there on holiday from somewhere, I think. You know, if you're doing like interrailing, you know, you can do that on your own or just a couple of you sort of thing. So I think there's definitely reasons why you would go to a football match on your own, but for the most part, you'd want to go with mates, wouldn't you? Really, because that's where most of because then you can just fold
more
your
entertaining.
arms, turn a person.
Yeah.
Rashford's shit today, isn't he?
Yeah. Or just 10 minutes of silence. I'd have scored that.
Yeah, exactly.
Clapping
I'd have done better.
everything.
Oh, God.
Gentle clapping.
The amount of crap you talk at like a fucking football game is hilarious, though.
Oh,
It's always just like. But although the big one for me is still the corners. How no one can clear the first man.
Oh, disgusting.
But I'm probably still
Yeah.
shit enough that I wouldn't be able to. So.
But this is the thing, when I think back to corners, I'm like, I don't remember being as wank as a lot of them are at corners.
I just feel like
Well,
they're
there's
going
this-
for something, and they just don't
Even
quite
if,
pull
you
it
could just,
off.
even if you could just float a ball into the back post so we can get headed back in, that's still more dangerous than just piling it at the front man's dick.
Yeah.
I saw this statistic, and apparently, so if you take it from the actual corner, that only in the Premier League, it like only results in a goal like 1% of the time. Whereas if you pass it to your mate who's near you, who then crosses it in, that goes up to like 5 to 10%.
Do you like? Is it the repositioning? As soon as you move it slightly, you get.
I guess you
the
just got a
angle.
better angle and you
Change
can
the
dribble a
angle,
little bit.
Yeah, the whip.
Yeah, you
But,
can kind of reposition the players if they don't know where the ball's coming from, more people in the way or something like that.
'Cause I guess if you think about it, from an actual corner, like for like a centre back to score a header on a corner, like a lot has to go right.
Well, I mean, we didn't score for 116 fucking set pieces recently.
United.
Yeah.
We went 100.
Did you
We've got
not?
a fucking Easter Island statue as our centre back, and we went 117 set pieces not scoring. Like,
I just love Man United. They're just
such a joke.
We're we are genuinely the new Banter FC at this point.
Yeah,
What-
with
what-
the new Tottenham, we're just
even-
going to bottle everything
Even
for
Arsenal's
years.
looking good now. They're not.
which is sad. Which is sad when you're a Man U. I just love the I was watching the Man U Atletico game.
You
the other
poor
day
soul.
I know it was fucking boring, and at the end of it, the commentator was like, "You know what? It's official. Man United won't win any silverware this season." And I'm like, "Did people think they were going
going
to
win at the start of the season?
No, but it
Like-
just wasn't
Do you know
official.
this
We still had a
is
slight.
the first time. This is the first season in 16 seasons that Ronaldo hasn't won a trophy for his club.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
How trash is that?
That is sad.
How bad is that?
He's gonna be gone.
Awful. And I'm
But
pretty
listen.
sure if you went back to the last time he didn't, it might have been at United as well. Maybe
Shout out.
Sporting or
He's
like
consistent.
something like that. That is just,
I love that.
it's
But,
horrendous.
Oh, even Chelsea's doing better than you, and they barely exist right now.
That's true. You're the poorest club in the world currently.
We are. Imagine that.
Yeah.
But so dumb. So that's a whole other different podcast in and of itself. But
That really is, yeah.
that is yeah. Well, I think that's as good a time as any to wrap it up for today.
I think it is. Lovely
Thank
stuff.
you. Thank you for watching.
Yeah,
Been a pleasure, gentlemen.
It has. Has indeed.
Au revoir.
Comment your
Let's see
If you,
when
favourite,
this
want to
gets
support,
uploaded.
if you want to support Chelsea FC, put your bank account details in the comments.
and also
Just
comment
ping it to Thomas Tuchel.
and comment your favourite
Yeah.
public meltdown down in the comments below.
It's a good one.
And did you get your vacuum?
I personally really like the put your hands on the car and prepare to die. That one's my personal favourite.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't.
Oh,
I'm gonna have
whatever.
to watch that.
You're gonna have to watch that afterwards. Wonderful.
Okay, all right.
Cheers, boys. Have a good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Bye.